بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين والعاقبة للمتقين والصلاة والسلام على أشرف الأنبياء والمرسلين وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين أما بعد. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. After praising Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and sending salawat upon Muhammad Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, I bring greetings from Canadian Muslims, Canadian Council of Imams, a special organization that I'm representing, Icna, Relief Canada, Islamic Circle of North America, and the mosque I represent, Brantford Mosque. I bring to you a message of hope and responsibilities. Hope because for last 10 years, before 10 years, I don't think so, in Canada, we did hear much about Uyghur challenges and Turkistan. But few brothers started. I still remember only few brothers started and no one paying attention to them. But by now, the message of hope is that in the capital of Canada, in Ottawa, we do have Ottawa Uyghur Mosque. And the next to my city, which is Hamilton, they have another Uyghur Mosque. And last year, the government of Canada in Parliament, they passed a resolution calling the Uyghur challenge in China as genocide. But at the same time, responsibilities is there because when the Parliament passed this, Cabinet abstained from voting. So that means we have more work to do. I come from a city which known as Brantford, which two history. Number one is the Brantford is the city where telephone was discovered the first time. Graham Bell, and his home is just next to our mosque. But also, it is important, especially important today with this event, is before Canada was born, before First World War, about 100 plus Turkish Muslims, they went to Canada and their home was Brantford, city of Brantford. As of now, we do have 16 graves. And injustice happened against them, and what happened against them, all documents has been destroyed. So we pray for them, may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bless them all. My topic is the role and responsibilities of Western Muslims in addressing this important situation. Personally, the way I work in Canada, I'm very humble to know that people call me one of the most active imams in Canada. And from my understanding, we need to do four things, the people who live in the West. Number one, this Uyghur challenge or East Turkestan challenge is a political challenge. So political activism is must. Without political activism, this solution, we may not find a solution. And political activism, for the political activism, we need to change the public opinion, because political leaders, they will not change their mind, they will not do anything until there is a demand from the public, and public opinions does not change, their mind does not change. And to change the public opinion, there is no alternative than education. Education in two sides. One side is for education for us, to understand political lands, to understand political context, to understand political strategies. If we do not understand international geopolitical challenges and small and big things, we can scream, we can talk anything, but politicians, they will not do something that is meaningful and lasting for us. So we as ulama, we as imams, we as academics, we need to understand that what are the political challenges and how it works. And using those political tools for our benefit and benefit of our Muslim Ummah, and especially people of Uyghur. At the same time, education for politician itself. that politicians, imams, scholars, youth, and our children, political for the education for Muslim communities of all levels. And each level has different kind of language. So we need to address that education for Muslim community itself. And I need to confess here, as of now, I do not understand East Turkestan challenge well. So I need to be educated. I need to learn more. And today, I'm very humble to say that I'm learning more today. And there are much more people, there are many more Muslim youth who have power, who have language, who can do something for us, but they do not know much about East Turkestan and Uyghur. And at the same time, Canadian people, I'm sure that every land, the people are different, but in general, Canadian people, non-Muslims, are very willing to learn when they hear about human rights violation, when they hear that there are personal stories against the women, against children, and they understand importance of education, and East Turkestan, children are deprived from their basic rights and education. When you humanize their stories, which is true stories, to Canadian mass, to Canadian and to Western people, you will have the more and better public opinion. Last weekend, this weekend I'm here, last weekend we were in Ottawa, about 200 Muslim scholars and Muslim activists, including Muslim Student Association representative. They were all in the Ottawa capital and meeting one after another with different ministers, MPs of both sides, including Prime Minister, and raising awareness about Islamophobia in Canada. And same kind of day of advocacy can be done to raise this issue to the Parliament, to Prime Minister, and to other MPs. At the same time, good news that Canadian Uyghur Muslims, they are very active. Because the politicians are not doing enough, they thought public opinion matters, education matters, the political arena matters, but at the same time, they took the matter to the court to compel the politicians, Parliament, to take that further action than only calling it genocide and doing nothing. So that legal action is important. And consistency. Many of us, we have too many responsibilities. And our brothers and sisters, Masjid, the Muslim activists, they have 8 hours, 9 hours, 12-hour jobs. And after that, you have 8 hours sleep time, then family time. So if you do give 1 hour for Uyghur cause, I don't think so it will take us at next level. So we need some dedicated brothers and sisters, youth, who will dedicate their life for this 24/7, working for this cause, especially in the West, when Western influence matters in the global politics. And of course, collaboration between different organizations, because one person can do here a little bit, another person can do here a little bit, but if there is no collaboration, there is no strength. And final one, I personally do not want to be the voice of Uyghur people, East Turkestan people. So it is our brothers and sisters from the East Turkestan. They need to reclaim their narratives. A story should come from them, or will just be there to be with them. So stories and voice should be from them. So this is number one, political activism. The second part is money. Money matters. You cannot do this whole symposium without money, right? Money talks. Money matters. Even advocacy group, education, awareness, so anything we say, at the end of the day, money is needed. So Icna Relief Canada, with Icna Relief Canada, we address some issues of the money, but that is one area. The area that Uyghur brothers and sisters who are in Turkey and suffering, so we bring some relief, and every year we are increasing, but I think we need to do more. So this is money goes to the immediate suffering of those brothers and sisters, where we can bring some relief. In China we cannot do, but wherever we can do something, we should do, and I extend my promise that inshallah we'll do everything possible for Uyghur brothers and sisters anywhere in the world. I keep saying Uyghur, And this is another big problem. Here, I'm hearing today, is Turkistan. But in Canada, most of the people, they have no clue what is Turkistan problem is. They will say Uyghur because that's the word has been used. So the question is it Uyghur problem or is Turkistan problem? Which one would like to promote? As soon as you go for East Turkestan, lots of people, they will think, okay, it is different than Uyghur. Because mosque name is Ottawa Uyghur Mosque, Uyghur Center, Uyghur Cause. We are raising funds by the name of Uyghur. So this is very important that which terminology we are using. Right? Advocacy part, when we talk about money is one is for relief, but another part of money should go for advocacy. Lobbying matters in the West, and it's big amount of money. I invite from here with my small abilities to all Muslim countries, rich and poor, everyone, each one of us, we have abilities to give something. If we create a fund where we get the money, and from this money, these lobbyist things, we invest in it, inshallah, result will come. So this is the second part is charity. And then also, important part, that we have good number of Uyghur students, children and youth in Canada who has the history and the connection, and they do have the feelings for their family more than anyone else. I hear the stories from them. These young students should be provided by scholarship, so they will become a pillar of the society, and they will have the bigger voice, a stronger voice 10 years from now, 20 years from now, 5 years from now. So our Uyghur students should be supported with good scholarship, so they will be educated and game changer than us, inshallah. The third point, I also lead a project. It's called refugee sponsorship, and that's very important for Canada and in the West. As soon as Ukraine problem happened, Canada opened its borders to welcome any number of Ukraine. As soon as Afghan situation happens, Canada opens the border for Afghanistan. For Syria, 50,000 Syrians were welcomed by Canadian government. I lead a project. By that project, what we did in last 5 years, we sponsored about 100 families. Usually, refugee sponsorship in Canada has a problem. It is a church-based program that most of the churches, they sponsor Muslim students, the Muslim families from different countries. Every time problem happens, they support them, and eventually, guess what? A good number of Muslim refugees goes to Canada under the church, eventually lose their faith. And this is very troublesome. So that's why we are the first organization, ICNA Relief Canada, in Canadian Muslim history, that we became the forefront refugee sponsorship program that last 5 years we sponsor 100 the refugee families. Each family to sponsor it cost about $50,000, and we are not afraid of doing it. But problem with the Uyghur, Canadian government as of now did not open the border for Uyghur Muslims yet. Recently, the discussion started, and because there are two types of refugees. One group of refugees, they have UN certificates, and others, they do not have UN certificate. Refugees in Turkey usually cannot have UN certificate. Now, government of Canada, for Syrian refugees, Iraqi refugees, Ukraine refugees, they say, we don't need anything. As long as you are from Ukraine and another country, come. For Uyghur Muslims, they did not lift this ban yet, but we want them. Last week we spoke to different, inshallah. So last week we discussed with the different governments levels. So please help us to refugee sponsorship, and any country you are in the West, do the refugee sponsorship. And final one is very close to my heart, is that everything we can do within our abilities, political activism, charity, donation, scholarship, and refugee sponsorship. But at the end of the day, it is the guidance from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Every time we say Hidina Sirat al-Mustaqim, I include this dua, Allah guide me to help our brothers and sisters in East Turkestan and do it in any possible way. So that guidance, that dua, that consistency is important. Jazakumullah khair.